Well, hello everyone, and a warm welcome. We have got an excellent hour ahead. If you missed it earlier on, we're going to have a whole hour, John next door and the legend himself. How you doing, John?
I'm all right. How are you, Uncle Dennis?
I'm very well. You're looking very smart.
I thought it was time to give up on my gilets.
Okay.
So I thought, we actually had Sam had a message from a customer and I wore a blue shirt on the show, and she said, oh, tell John that looked really nice, it suited him.
Oh, nice.
So if you're watching, June, I took your advice.
Blue is your colour.
Blue is my colour. It is. Actually, if you go into our wardrobe, everything is blue.
Oh, okay.
Everything.
For your blue period.
Sorry, yeah. It has been for years. Stripes, checks, everything. The whole wardrobe is just blue.
Okay.
Yeah, seriously, really bad.
Now, speaking of in style, we have got a fantastic release from Sam. Well, it's Sam's limited release.
Yes.
And I have to say, this is really good. You were actually telling me, John, the amount of design time you put into this is the equivalent of a full collection.
It is. I spend probably a little bit more time sometimes on this because we start with almost, we start with the price point almost.
Yeah.
We did the first one, we did, was the mandala, and we sort of set the price point at $24.99. Yeah. And I want to make sure that we're keeping it at that. So you've got effectively, when you buy one of the limited editions, you've got everything you need to make cards. All you need is glue and card.
And every sample...
Glue and card blank. So and every sample's just using...
Here, glue, as long as you've got glue and card stock in your collection, you can make anything that you're seeing here. I just want to put this in context and something that John touched on. Limited edition. I'm not calling limited stock yet, but in 1 hour, and it was immensely busy earlier on. But we have... John next door, you can come as a brand. You can come here with a lot of stock. Yeah. So I know sometimes stock's relative in what we say, 20%, 50%, but genuinely you had a lot of stock. Yep. We've done the maths. After 1 hour, we're now calling 75% of the stock has gone. It looks like it will be selling out this hour. There's a very good chance. If it does sell out, there is absolutely no more. I know sometimes I've said, oh, I don't think we can get hold of any more, and then we do. Categorically, all the stock you have, we have right now.
You have got all the stock we've got. Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a certain number. It's very difficult not to say numbers. It's very. Okay. I know in my head, we have a certain number, and it's not as high as we'd normally do for a full collection. Okay. And we hold back a small percentage of that for any problems or returns. Yeah. Everything else is physically on these last two shows. Wow. So that is the entire stock that is in existence is here on here, and when it's gone, it has gone. So, and if you look at the packaging, it actually says on there limited edition. And that is almost our commitment.
That's it.
So that's it. So once that has gone, we will not, because we're getting 3 or 4 people a week still messaging me or Sam asking when they can get the Mandala limited edition that we launched in January. You can't, it's finished, it's gone.
So once the limited edition is gone, that is it, it's gone?
That's it, it's gone. Okay. The papers, I've had a couple of people ask me between shows, and because the paper is a consumable, if there is a level of interest, we'll look at perhaps letting people get hold of more of the paper. Okay. That's not a definite. No. But as for the die and the collection, no, that is it. If you miss it now, you will not get it elsewhere or again.
Talk to me, John, what are we getting in this collection then? Because it is such a good collection.
Well, I called it Sam's Choice.
All right.
Mainly because what I actually did was, I said to Sam when we're doing the second one, I said, what do you think we should put in one? And he said, well, you've got to put Sam's Stars in. Okay. Now, Sam's Stars was a die that I did for Christmas 2 or 3 years ago. And it was a big die, and it was sort of a star held with holly and ivy. Yeah. So this is a complete new redraw. This isn't like a mini version of it. But this time what I've done is, if you've got the star, you've then got, these are actually branches of this foliage going out from each point.
Oh, that's very clever.
That holds the star in place. Then you get the 3 stars that nest in the centre. Yeah. So you've got those. Then you've got 2 of the leaves, which is one of my favourite, and these were hand-drawn. Yeah. So I literally hand-drew these and scanned them in, and this is a miniature version of a little different style of leaves I did. Then you've got this, which is like we're calling the mini cornflower. Oh, lovely. Because I've redrawn it, but Sam said the cornflower is the most popular flower that I get the most people asking me, when is it coming back, and it's not.
Oh, OK.
So I said, well, what we'll do is I'll draw a new one, and I'll draw a mini version that will work with it.
Well, the flowers are actually, I'm just going to show you, because we had a couple of inspirations. with the flowers. Now these are pretty. So this is just using the flowers and the little sprigs. Just show you that there. So this one in my left hand is by Barbara, and the one in the right, so that's Barbara, which I'm just waving there, the blue, and the other one is by Helen. But two stunning inspirations with the flowers. So the flowers are beautiful. I can see why the cornflower. I remember doing the cornflowers with you. I remember them being popular. But then if I just drop this down, you're looking at the actual star. I mean, how beautiful is that? When John, you were explaining that detail work just right. You can see why this collection has been so busy. So we've got the stars to play around with as well. You can obviously, it will go with anything else you have in your stash. It's just a phenomenal release.
I love this, I really do. And I did say this earlier with Hayley, that one of the reasons that this show wasn't supposed to be this, it was supposed to be the Kaleido.
Right.
And we've had to delay that till the 23rd. But the main reason that we could bring this show in with 2 days' notice was because this is like a mojo buster. So about 2 weeks ago, I lose my mojo like everyone does.
Yeah.
So what I tend to do is pick up something limited and small to play with. It's how to get me back into it.
Yeah.
So I actually prepped everything for this show a week and a half ago when I'd lost my mojo. And this was brilliant because I knew I was only going to allow myself to use plain card, which is what I've brought. So I've got with me plain card, the papers in the pack, the gems and the dies. That was it. And I allowed myself, so the show was prepped early because this was so good to work with.
That's one thing I failed to mention, sorry. So you're getting the dies, you're getting the papers, you're also getting the gems in there as well for $24.99. Oh, no, we're at 80% of the stock. We are really, really busy. We're only 6 minutes into the show. This is kind of our main focus. Could be losing this within the first half of the show, and if it does sell out, as John was explaining, absolutely no more here. I want to show you some boxes. Look at that, for detail work into a box. Who made this one? This was Barbara.
Oh, is that Barbara?
Barbara, yeah.
Brilliant. But that is using the waste from the flowers and the sort of stars die, the leaves, that's it. So this is card, a scoreboard, and the dies in the set. There's nothing added to it. The same with this gift bag. All that Julie's actually added on this is a frame using some square dies. But take the frame off, which I'm going to do in my first demo. I'm going to do it without a frame, and it works just as well. So everything is literally, that's the box with some paper added. That's this selection. Again, just with silver card, blue card and white card. I know nothing else added.
A lot of people were asking about the box. Now, you're going to be doing a special demonstration of this, but this is going to be on your social media?
Yeah, so on Craft Cave Live, on the Crafting with John Next Door and Crafts 2 group on Wednesday, I will be doing the blue box there that folds open, that's underneath the blue one. So the one on your right, I'm going to be showing you how to do something like this. Because this takes too long on a show.
Yeah.
But this box, everything in here, apart from sort of, obviously there's a circle cut there and some squares, but everything, the tree, the stars, the flowers, everything is using just what you get in this limited edition.
You're kidding. So all this inspiration, that is sensational, the tree.
That's Leslie, that's really, really clever. But everything is just from the limited edition. So as long as you've got a pair of scissors or a guillotine or a trimmer, you can make that.
We're now over 80%. It's going to sell out. And there's no real question about that. Say it's a limited edition. I'm not going to be. It's one of those shows. I don't. As a presenter, it's not nice to keep on saying to you. And I never say you've got to have anything. But limited editions. Two things to note. We're not going to bring it back on this show if it sells out. We're not bringing it back at all. And as John was mentioning earlier on with the mandalas, he constantly gets emails saying when you bring them mandalas, which was a previous release, another limited edition from John Next Door, won't do it. So limited editions are highly coveted. Now we've still got stock. We're about to lose that stock. This is literally this hour is your last opportunity to get a hold of it. It will sell out, and then we're never going to be able to bring that back to you. $24.99 is your price, 766-933 item number. You can shop ahead. Go onto the website. There is so much to discover on our website. The inks are incredible. I remember when John first brought us these inks, and they were so popular. So I think we're going to have to play with these later because the limited edition is going to sell out. And once once that happens, we're kind of a bit stuck. So we're going to have to be using the inks. Just giving you a nod there, John.
Yes.
You know, start preparing. So have a little look. We've also got the little vacuums. Now, these are cool. Just tidying up your workspace. 5-star reviews there. Very, very nifty. Speaking of 5-star reviews, the glues with the glue glaze. Very, very busy in the last hour. This is special stuff, and that glue glaze is awesome. I see John using it time and time again. I mean, look at all the reviews there. More 5-star reviews. The guillotine was another one. Actually, we've got that on the show. I'm grabbing it here. One thing to note with the guillotine, it's got a good build quality. You can hear it, right? And John, because I haven't done this with you before, but and I didn't ask you this question in our prep meeting, but I would imagine that is a self-sharpening blade.
It is.
Yeah.
The actual metal panel that runs down the side is actually a steel that you would have to cut. The way you sharpen knives, or chefs do it. You've seen them with the steel, the long pointy thing, and they're rubbing the knife against it. That's what that is.
It's a nice
So
guillotine.
every time you cut, it literally gives you that slice. And I mean, this one, you can look by the colour. I mean, if you actually see how mucky mine is. I've had this since launch, so I've had this since before, what's that? August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. I've had this 9 months.
Yeah.
And I can still cut a piece of card.
The amount of crafting you do as well.
That thin.
Yeah.
Literally. And it have no feathering or anything.
John,
Absolutely love this.
Got to interrupt you, because
Right.
there is breaking news. The limited edition set is living up to its name. It is limited. I'll let you in a little secret. So we were talking, and my producer Charlotte, who is lovely, we were laughing because we were saying, look, we probably have enough stock to last the hour. Because we were saying, imagine if we sold out. We were joking, saying, I wonder if it would sell out halfway through the show, and no one thought that would be the case. The fact that I've just called limited edition, so we've gone from 75% to less than of the stock gone. Now we're up to 90%, so 10% of the stock remaining. I think it is going to sell out very quickly. So we better see it in action, because it's not going to be around for much longer.
Right. So I thought I would make, what I wanted to do with this show is to show you lots of different things that you could do with the collection.
Nice.
But also I wanted to show you, because to me, this is a really good entry point to die cutting. At the price point it is,
Perfect.
if you've got a die cutting machine and you've never used it, or you're thinking about it, this is a great place in. But what you want to know is, can I do lots of things with the dies? So we're going to make a little gift bag.
Nice.
Now, you've got the one over there that the fantastic Julie made, but it takes a couple of sheets of A4. This is one sheet of A4 card.
Oh, lovely.
And so easy to do and to die cut.
Nice.
So all I'm going to do is, I've got the measurements here. So it's really simple. I work these ones out. So it is 3 3/4. So it's basically 3 3/4, an inch, 3 3/4, an inch. Leaves you a strip, but it's score at 3 3/4 inches, 4 3/4 inches, 5 3/4 inches, 9.5, 10.5, 11.5, and 2 inches up from the bottom. But I will take a photo of this and put it on social media.
Okay.
Because I know that will get people. And all I've done is to cut out. I've made all the folds. Put some power tape on one side. Yeah, and cut out the 2 bits that will be the flaps.
Okay.
Really simple. So you've got to think, we always think die cutting is always flat. It's always flat onto a card, means it's not. We can do anything 3D. So clean my die. And then I'm just going to place this down roughly in the middle. And I'm just going to tape it down. Okay. But I want this to cut into my card.
Right.
But what I don't want to do is, I don't want to get my A4 machine out, I just want to use my Kaleido. So all I actually do, now normally your die is supposed to be clean.
Sorry, John, I just picked up on what you were saying. So we were going to do, because I did the show with you with the Kaleido.
Yes.
We were going to do a Kaleido show, and that's now been pushed back to...
The 23rd, a week on Sunday.
Okay. Because the Kaleido...
Is amazing, yeah.
Very, very busy, yeah.
We've got some new things for it.
Okay.
That weren't going to be available on time, and we didn't want to go on an extended delivery for people. You know, so we wanted to, we swapped them over. Okay. So I'm just putting a piece of card over just to cover, because my die isn't clean. But you see, if I fold, because I've done the folds first, that will all fit in. So just don't think, because you've got a smaller die cutting machine, you can't make bigger projects. We just fold it over. I'll bring this in so you can see it.
There's the Kaleido. If you've not seen this machine before, it is immense. I mean, it's not only a die cutting machine, but it does so much more, John.
Well,
right?
it shouldn't. I've got too many layers of card in this.
Yeah.
But it's doing it.
Nice.
Which is great. But what it does then, so then I've cut through, and there is...
Oh, beautiful.
My
The
piece.
branches that you've done around the stars are so nice. Really.
It's the same sort of, I would love to say, it's exactly the same drawing as that, but if you look, it's not. Those have to be hand drawn in as well.
Yeah.
They can't go in the same point.
Okay.
So...
We are less than 5% of the stock remaining for our limited edition. We have got queues on our phone lines. I would hazard a guess, and it's purely me guessing, I reckon there's another 5, possibly 10 minutes while we've got this in stock, and then it will be gone. And the only reason I'm saying this, it's not pressure sales, I promise you that. I just don't want you to miss out. So if you are enjoying the show, if you want to get hold of this, now's the time. In 10 minutes' time, I reckon it'll be gone.
Cool. So, but you can see what it does is, by doing it that way, it actually puts an embossed impression.
Okay.
Because I've chosen a cream card, I was hoping this might come through, but I know that Mr. I know Mr. Webster can get this one. I'm going to pay for that one, aren't I?
Unfortunately, we couldn't get hold of the legend that is Mr. Baker. You have to settle for Webster.
I don't need Mr. Baker. I've got Mr. Webster. I've known Mr. Webster a lot longer. As I keep saying, I live in his school field. So
he's 92, Mr. Webster.
Mr. Webster is 92, the janitor at the school now. I do actually live in his school field.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, where our house is built was the end of the school field where Chris went to school.
Oh, okay.
Because we're both from the same city. So, but you can see I've got this embossed piece, so you could raise that and show it a little bit more. Nice. But it's really, really simple.
That's a clever technique. So using the Kaleido, you not only cut, but then you emboss as well.
Embosses into the back and embosses the pattern in beautifully. So you don't have to actually put that in again.
That's nice.
You don't have to cut it a second time. So all I'm going to do now, I'm going to do this for speed.
Okay.
So what I would do is I would glue this with my glue glaze or with my fine glue applicator.
I'm so glad that we can get hold of your glue glaze, because for a long time we'd see you use it and we couldn't get hold of it.
Yeah, nobody could get it.
No.
Yeah. If you do have this happens to me quite a bit, where you've actually used spray glue and it's in a place you don't want, just grab your anti-static bag.
Oh, that's what we do on the red liner tape too.
And that takes away the actual stickiness.
That's clever.
You're sticking cornstarch onto it.
Yeah.
You're not, because I think it's full as earth that's actually in there. So we've got that one. Yeah, so I can put this together really simply. So I've used power tape, which we are trying our hardest to get back, because we have it made for us.
Wow.
Because it will, I can't remember. I think 1 square centimetre holds 1.2 kilos of weight.
That's impressive.
It's the strongest tape ever.
I was saying to you, John, I'm so glad that we get to work with you, and the stuff you bring, everything as crafters, it's exciting. You bring us the kind of elements, the dyes, the designs that I think most crafters would want, because you are a crafter, so you kind of see it from that perspective.
I do it for me.
Yeah.
I do it for me. I mean, I received a beautiful new product I've been working on yesterday for Christmas.
Ooh.
And it is gorgeous, and I want it in my collection. It looks amazing, but it doesn't work.
Okay.
So we're not doing it.
Well, that's interesting.
It's as simple as that.
So I mean, that's really interesting.
4 months of development work. We won't be doing it.
So if something doesn't pass the test, John is very
no.
strict on that development test. If you feel it's not going to work, then 4 months and you just okay, it doesn't work.
No.
Wow.
That's how it is.
Well, you see that with a die cut machine. Sorry,
the die cut machine was well over a year.
Yeah, but no, at one point you were looking at a die cutting machine, you felt it in, and you spent about a year or more testing it, and then you said no.
It didn't do everything we needed it to do. It wasn't happy at the end of it, so we dumped it. Yeah.
Okay.
You've got to. We're crafters the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone who works in crafts too is a crafter. Everybody crafts.
Yeah, of course so, yeah.
You know, there isn't anybody, I don't think, that doesn't craft in one form or another who works there. So, you know, we don't want it because we're the ones who are using it.
Yeah, of course.
It's not just selling it.
Yeah.
So there you go. Go really simple, easy.
How
I mean, you could put a little clip on that and fill it with sweets or anything you've made.
That's so nice.
Again, all I did with the original is punch some holes in. So now we come to decorate it.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is, I've used some of the Craft Artist satin card for this.
Well, let's see, that's luxury.
It is. It is. Yeah. It's beautiful. I mean, I think this is the rose copper, but I'd never know if the colour comes through, but it is just...
Oh, you can see that.
So beautiful and smooth, and it cuts beautifully.
Opulent.
So I'm going to do a star, but I say this every time. If you're cutting random stars out, do it from the square of a middle of... Do it from the middle of a piece of card.
Okay.
Do it from a square, because that then can mount backwards or can go behind one of the pieces. So I'm going to show you that one. So I'm going to finish with
nice about these designs, John. You can go in so many different directions. I'm just having a look at some of the inspirations where you can do something like this. This is Leslie. I mean, how pretty is that? That's really nice. I think we'll all agree. But then we can go thinking ahead. I know you did mention sort of Christmas. It works so well, but not, you can see it works for Christmas, but it's absolutely not a Christmas die because we're using that all season. Well, then we can go to something like that for celebrations. Another one from Leslie. So really, really, I love the fact Leslie's got Sam's name in there as well.
She's not daft.
Yeah.
She knew the name of it before we started.
Yeah.
The thing I want to do is we have to acknowledge that there is everyone has a different budget.
Yeah.
And everyone has a different budget for things. So what I really wanted with this and all of the limited edition collections is that it could meet their budget. And this means that with just this one die, the flower and the leaves, you have the ability to make cards for men, for ladies, for children, for Christmas, for birthday, for everything. You don't have to have everything. None of us have to have everything. I know craft stuff is a need, not a want.
Yeah.
Because I know I've already made 3 purchases this week.
Okay.
But you know, that's the way it is. You don't. I want to do it so that you can buy things in isolation.
Nice.
So all I'm going to do now, I'm just going to add a little bit. So I'm going to add the star on. Okay.
We are very close to single figures for our limited edition. Very, very close.
The star on. It's not
going to be around for much longer.
So, but what I'm going to do is, and I got this from Julie, and I'd never thought of this. What she actually did was, the star will fit that way, and the star's been drawn so that it's correct in every position.
Oh, that's good.
Which I know it sounds simple, but trust me, it's really not.
There's nothing more frustrating than having to...
You can't scale them down.
Yeah.
You cannot scale a star down. You have to actually redraw every point on each one down. They go out as soon as you start. As soon as you start to scale them down, say 10%, they start to come out or go tall. It's not a scalable object.
Oh, that's
It's really weird. Yeah. But what I'm going to do is put it upside down. Because it just adds that little bit of extra interest and brings it forward.
Yeah, I like that.
And then just pop the other cream one.
So you're just rotating.
In the middle. But it gives you a different shape again.
Yeah.
From what the original one would look like.
I like that.
So we're going to need some leaves. So I'm going to cut the leaves.
Okay.
And very good. What are we in? 23 minutes in.
Yeah.
That's very good. A friend of mine, Mr. Keeler, said that he reckoned I would lose something within 5 minutes of getting into the show.
You've done 23 minutes?
No, I've done 23 minutes. My green card.
Okay.
I knew I had it in front of me. So I'm just going to cut some of the foliage. And while I'm at it, this is what I love about the Kaleido. It has magnets in it, and the magnets kind of run down the middle, so they pull it.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see that. Right.
So I don't actually. They won't overlap now, no matter what I do.
Nice.
If I don't tape them, which I won't do, they won't actually overlap.
And that's one thing what we always say, like tape down because you don't want your dies to overlap. So with the magnet, you won't have that.
No, that's the one thing that breaks a die.
Yeah.
It's the only way we destroy them and break them. And please don't break these because we can't send you a replacement. So we'll pop those out because, there we go. And then I also want to have the flowers. So I'm going to use some more of the satin card. And again, I'm cutting that in the middle because again, I might want to use that as a background.
Nice.
And I want to show you how we shape these differently. So in the first sort of show, I was showing you just literally taking them and picking each individual little petal up. So you can see there just like that.
Yeah.
This time I want to show you how we get them like that.
Okay. Ooh.
Which again is a totally different flower look.
It is, yeah.
So And the same with the leaves. So I'm just going to pop these out.
It's a lovely cardstock to work with.
The Craft Artist Satin is a beautiful card, it really is. And because it's, unlike a lot of mirror and satin cards, it's not made on recycled card. And I know people go, because they know I'm funny, I like recycled. Yeah. If you use recycled card for speciality cards, it feathers when you cut it. Oh. And it frays because it's got the actual texture inside's too thick.
Right.
It's got too much pulp in it almost. Yeah. So don't waste it. No. If you want to help the environment, don't waste it. Yeah. So all I'm going to do is take each petal, and I'm using my tweezers, yeah? Yeah. Hold it in with my tweezers and fold it round. Nice. That's it. So just hold it with my tweezers. I'm using my reverse tweezers, but you can use any tweezer at all. And to be honest, you're not looking for an even fold. Yeah. You're not looking for a perfect fold because flowers aren't perfect. It's true. What you want them to be is each one look a little bit different, because then when you make it up into the main flower, it looks more realistic. So if you look at that, it looks a little bit mangled. Yeah. Oh, I like that. However, when you take, so I'm going to take another one and do exactly the same. These flowers with this cardstock, it's so effective. They work beautifully, don't they? And the thing is, we make sure, I test all the dies that I do with different types of cardstock, different weights, different qualities, different companies, because I think that's important. And we test the dies in different machines. Oh, that's good. So I have a collection at home of, I even have machines that people would never expect that I would have. Oh, really? But I have machines, so we can check them in everything. Yeah. We even now, all the cardstock we do, we even now check it all in a Cricut. Oh, wow. To make sure it cuts perfectly in that as well. Good. It's got to be right. Yeah. But this is the glue glaze, which is fab. And we've got details at the bottom of your screen for the glue glaze with the glues, and you'll see why, because sticking on something like this, typically some glues would struggle. Yeah, that's stuck. Straight away. That's literally it. What you've got with the glue glaze is, it isn't a PVA glue. It's in a lip gloss container with a lip gloss blush. Yeah. Yeah. Because that made it, if we moulded our own special tool to do this, it would add to the price. Right. So we took something already on the market and put the glue in. But if you see there, it's flat. So you can see the glue, there's no doming. If I put a little bit of normal PVA on, you'll see that it domes. Yeah. Yeah? And that means it squishes. And obviously when it's a small area, you don't want the glue to squish. No. So if I take and put this on top of the glue glaze one, you'll see that's done and stuck, and it's flat. Yeah. If I put this one on top of the one with the PVA, it will, watch it not do it now, but there we go. It squidges out. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, it doesn't dry as quickly. Yeah. And this is one of the best, this is the best glue I've ever used. But can you see it's squidged out a bit? Yeah. Whereas it's still not stuck down with the glue glaze, done, grabbed, done. But the fab thing is, on this, is we're going to do the leaves. So I'm going to just fold the leaves. Okay. So the same idea, I'm just going to take my tweezers on each leaf and fold it over it. And it really 3Ds them. Yeah. And the thing is as well, these are not tools that you might not have, because nearly every household will have some tweezers somewhere, even if they're just eyebrow tweezers. Yeah? Yeah? Nice. So all I'm going to do then is, I'm going to carry on folding this. Is something you want to cover for a minute while I will just give you a little update. So we are into single figures with regard to our limited edition. It's going to go. Please don't miss out, because what you're getting here is something so special. And it's lovely seeing John being that passionate. So you're getting 3 die sets that you can see down here. So you're getting all 3 of those die sets, those beautiful stars with that wonderful sort of trellis around them. Then you've got the individual branches, and you've got the flowers. I mean, putting the flowers with the branches and the stars together, special things happen. And I was mentioning that what I really like about this collection is the versatility, because, and I will get onto the boxes in a moment, but I was just showing you this, and for the benefit of anyone who might have tuned in, we can go Christmassy. This is not a Christmas release, but we can go Christmassy, and I think we all agree that looks very pretty, right? For Christmas, very, very nice. But then all of a sudden, if you wanted to go to celebrate, say someone's birthday, I mean, that
totally different feel to it. So very celebratory. If you wanted to just use the stars by themselves, you can do that. What a nice card that is. If you wanted to use the frame by itself, now look at, and pay the attention to detail that John has afforded with just the leaves trestling around that star. I mean, beautiful. It just gives me the impression of wonderful sort of paper cut detail. But then if you just wanted to take the flowers and the wonderful branches, you can do that as well. I mean, how pretty are these flowers? Beautiful, beautiful flowers. And then you've got those wonderful branches and sprigs behind. Or what about this as a birthday card from Helen? Isn't that nice?
To me, the difference is, what you're showing is with the Sam card, you showed a men's birthday card that no man could ever complain about. Or the pop box you've got there.
Oh, look at this.
You know, that could be a kid, a teenager, or a men's card really, really easily.
Love that.
But you've just held up then a female birthday card with exactly the same set. And that's what I wanted to do, was that you would have, so if you only had one set, you can make for men, women, children, everybody.
This is stunning work from Julie, showing you now the flowers, and it's so nice. And these flowers, very, very popular. John's brought them before, but never in this size. So this is exclusive to the limited edition set. But then Julie's expanded with that background going on there. Absolutely stunning. But we can go from there to here. Now this one's so clever from Barbara. So taking a journal and that's lovely. So there is so much we can do, but thinking on that, so we've seen journals, we've seen cards. How about beautiful boxes? So now we can suddenly make the most beautiful gift boxes. The Craft Cave with John, he's actually going to be featuring a 2-hour special in how to make this box. So we're going to be exploring how to make this box with John. You can follow him on social media. When's that going to be, John?
We do Craft Cave Live Wednesday night, 7 till 8 every week.
Okay.
It's this week's one at 7 o'clock on Wednesday.
Brilliant.
And we'll be doing the box from start to finish.
Anybody who's gone for the limited edition, tune in Wednesday at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Wednesday at 7 o'clock, 2 hours with John. How's
just an hour. If I say 2 hours, Sam would kill both of us.
Sorry. I apologise. And then let you have some time
if I go over an hour, he starts to grumble.
I'll just show you.
His tummy starts to grumble because we don't eat till afterwards. So
we're about to go. We are into single figures with this set. I'll just show you these final two, and then we'll head back to John. Look at that. Very, very pretty. All that there. So that one was, is it Maxine? Maxine. And then this one, no name on there. I'm going to get back to you, John, because this is about to sell out, so we'll let you finish off.
Right, I shall be very, very quick. So what I'm going to do is now, I could punch the holes and put the ribbon in, but I'm just going to decorate it. But what I love is everything's from exactly the same set. So I've moulded my flowers, my leaves, but can you see the difference when I hold them in? Again, so that's when they're folded.
John, I've got to interrupt.
And that's when plain. And to me, there's a real, one looks, the same colour card, one looks real, one doesn't.
John, I've got to stop you.
Okay.
It's sold out, I'm afraid. It's the limited edition. It's technical sellout. So as it stands, all our stock, we cannot get hold of any more. We will not be bringing this back at any time in the future. And that's the thing with the limited editions. If you have it in your basket, you currently have it. If any bounce back, and you are getting the papers, you're getting the gems, you're also getting all three of the die sets. If you've got this in your basket, well done. But is it all gone? Everyone's, oh, check out. I thought everyone checked out. So it is a technical checkout, technical sellout. Do check out. If any bounce back, I'm going to let you know. John, we said, well, halfway through the show, we were
I
predicting.
didn't expect that at all. I am sorry, guys.
Nor did we.
No, I didn't. I mean, it is the same quantity because we did order, you know, the limited edition was ordered during lockdown.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is, but can you see, I'm using the glue glaze to stick these on, but it allows me, when that's so fine, look, they're stuck. And all I'm doing, they're completely stuck.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But all I'm actually doing is, it's really difficult now because I haven't got another one, but all I'm doing is wiping that along the outside.
Right.
Like that. That's a little bit, and that's all that's gluing it down. I'm going to glue that to a piece of card.
Okay.
But see, that's already stuck.
He's a very quick grab glue.
It's extremely.
Do you know where I'd be using
grab.
that? I'd be using it all the time, but for any delicate, intricate dies, fantastic.
Yes.
But also any cardstock with a coating that you'd normally struggle to glue down.
This is brilliant. You're right. Yeah, definitely. It is brilliant for cardstock that is like this. This is a satin card. So I'm gluing now almost onto satin card, and it will glue it absolutely perfectly and straight away. And you don't get that squidge. And if you get a squidge onto mirror card, you'll never get it off.
Yeah.
You can kind of wash it off, but it will never come off. So there I've got no space to glue it on, so I'm going to put a little bit, make sure I get it on. Make sure you're gluing it to something, not just one of the sticks. And I can't do it, even though I'm trying to rush this one to finish it, I can't just put 2 flowers on, because it's wrong. No. It has to be 3 or 5 or 7.
It's the rule of 3s or odds.
Rule of 3 or odds. Asymmetry, but there we go. But that's all glued on and done. But all done just using basically a scoreboard or a rule and some measurements.
Very pretty.
And the dies in the set.
So John, we were kind of in a situation where we did. I say we were joking, saying what would we do if we sold out halfway through the show. We didn't think it would happen. It has. So now this is what we got left. The limited edition, we thought we had more than enough stock to cover both this hour and the earlier hour. We haven't. It's sold out. But we have got the glues. That's what John was just demonstrating now. John, now, very, very busy for these. John said a statement, and I really pay attention. I've got a lot of respect for John as a crafter, and I listen when he speaks. He was saying, like, the glue is the best glue he's ever worked with, and then you're getting the glue glaze in there, and I've seen how good that is. So with this for $9.99, the fact that you're getting 2 of the glues, and they're good size pots of glue, and you're getting the glue glaze, I think is an exceptional price. 60% of the stock, though, has gone for our glues. We're going to talk inks, John. I remember when you first brought these inks out. Yeah,
well, these are brand new colours.
Okay.
So we have sold out we sold out of the previous, I think we did 5 sets, didn't we?
Yeah.
I've lost one. No,
and you wanted to achieve something with the design. So we have got brand new colours, and thank you for saying that, because the design's quite iconic. And I remember when you first brought them, you wanted to give us versatility in our actual palette.
That's what we wanted to have, was to have. The thing is, I was doing some stamping with these when we launched them last week, and I was using the little finger stamps. And basically, by doing this, taking 3 lids off, I have 24 colours to use straight away.
Wow.
Yeah? So I don't have to take 24 lids off.
Yeah.
Yeah? And they're all the same. So although one is pearl and 2 aren't, I don't have to know which is the lid for which.
Yeah.
Because the lids don't touch the inks, so they won't matter. And see how that one's got purple on it? It doesn't go on there.
Perfect.
So really, I've got 24 colours straight in my hands.
Yeah. And the size of these, the same size as like the little minis that we would...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've actually got, and they're a lot easier, because for a start, you've got...
Oh, that's good.
They won't fall out, but
You've given that a good old shape.
Oh, yeah, I can give it a good...
Oh, OK.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Which was one of the problems with this style of ink pad in the past. One of the things we've changed is, originally these were held in place with a magnet.
Right.
The new design and the new ones aren't. They click in. And the reason is we had a few customers say they couldn't use them because they can't have magnets near them.
OK, yeah.
Because of pacemakers and things like that. So we changed the design.
Well, that's good of you.
Yeah,
that's
but
good.
we've got beautiful... Well, you've got to listen to people. Yeah. And what we've got is, I'll go through the tea time and the thing. In fact, what I'll do is I'll be very, very naughty, because I'll use the die.
Oh, perfect. OK.
So if you bought this is a fab thing you can do with it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just going to put my piece of paper onto a magnetic sheet.
OK.
And the reason is that it will hold that in place.
John, what do you know when it comes to inks? Or pads, ink pads? What do you look for? And when you're developing these, what did you want to achieve with them?
What we wanted with these was, I always look for any product to do more than one thing. So what I can do with these is, first of all, I can stamp with them.
Yeah.
So I'll get a clear, crisp stamp. Yeah. Because they're pigment inks, those colours will blend.
Lovely.
And it also means I can put clear embossing powder over them, and I can emboss it. So there was 3.
Yeah. Okay.
But then what I wanted was, We wanted them to be made, I wanted to be able to paint, I love painting with inks.
Yeah.
So we wanted these to be paintable. So these are water-based, and I don't diss any other ink, but a lot of pigment ink is oil-based.
Yeah.
So the leading brand at the moment is beautiful colours, stamps beautifully, blends beautifully, but it is oil-based. So you can't colour with it because you can't pick it up with a water brush.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't ink with it.
Yeah.
Whereas, so we wanted that, so that's what we're looking for.
Big, yeah.
So that I don't have to have any other green. You know, I don't have to, I can use the same thing all the time. But because it's pigment ink, and I really wish I'd got a clean brush. Let's see if we can find a clean brush. Come on, John.
Nice. You got a few.
I bought so many, yeah. And the thing is, everyone thinks, oh, it's great, it's fab. When you know, when you work in the industry, no, if I want more than one set of anything, I buy them, just like everybody else. But I get, it just blends so beautifully. So I can get a really...
Oh, nice.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
I can actually almost make my own background. So I'm going with this darker tealy green.
So we're turning our dye into a stencil.
So you're turning your dye into a stencil. So it just works so well.
Oh, yeah, like that.
But that, you know, so that's fab.
Okay.
So I can do that with it. I can also blend with it.
Nice.
So as we've seen, but I can, as I said, I can stamp with it.
Now this is important because then all of a sudden you're not just going, because a lot of stamping we tend to go for just basic black colours or darker colours. So here you're actually going to be able to stamp with your tones.
Yeah, and that's the point. So if you're wanting to do something a little bit multicoloured, the number of packs of magnets I have to buy, the number of magnets that I literally lose almost on a daily basis. I can't, there's only 4 in here because I had a show and I had to open a new pack for
When
them.
you doing, didn't you the other day I was watching, I wasn't in, I was watching at home, and you did a show with the Press to Impress.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was with the new
Because you told me something,
plate.
the Press to Impress, there was someone did a video, I won't mention names, but it was independent crafter who we know actually here, no longer here at the craft store, but she tried all the different stamping platforms and voted the Press to Impress the best.
Yes, it was an independent. She now works for a different craft company.
Yeah.
And you know, it's still there. But you see how crisp that is?
That is very crisp.
In that colour.
Yeah.
And that's what I love. So I can stamp with it, but I could also, you know, I can blend with that beautifully. So I can, you know, I can really sort of blend with those inks as well. I could actually, you know, heat emboss that as well.
Nice.
But I'll show you the watercolour.
Yeah.
If you want something you want to cover for a second, just while I get set up.
Okay, and we've got to thank John because this is more out of necessity. We were planning on focusing on the limited edition for the whole of this hour. We kind of thought it could go. We didn't expect it to, so it's caught us by surprise. We're talking about the glues and the inks. We have got the ink pads here. You're getting all 3 sets for $37.97, 24 different colours. If you think about this, having to buy 24 ink pads, even if they're the mini, how much you would spend, the quality of the actual ink pads, the fact that they are water-based, that you can stamp with them, you can blend with them as well. They really are a catch-all. They do a lot of different techniques, which is something John is very passionate about. It did impress me seeing it stamp, you know, with just the crispness, because I've tried in the past, sometimes it can be a bit hit and miss when, with colours, I found anyway, when you're stamping with colours, but very, very crisp to work with.
Yeah, colours can be, I can't think what that word, I don't want to use the word that's in my head that starts with B. Okay. But colours can be that B word to stamp with. Okay. Yeah, it's a very Yorkshire word. It's not rude, but it could be classed as.
You know what, John, by saying that, it sounds so much more.
It does say, it sounds like I'm saying a really bad word, and I'm not. Okay. But they are an absolute nightmare sometimes to stamp with coloured inks.
They can be a bit of an ache to work with.
Yeah, they can be. Yeah. They really just cause so many problems because they smear and they splodge because they've not got the balance of the pigment and things right.
Okay. Let's say the word John was thinking of is not the word a lot of us would have thought when he said it.
No, it's not. Sorry, I really shouldn't have started.
It wasn't a naughty word.
No. Yeah. No, but they really are. It's a pain, and These aren't. So I'm going to stamp this just in VersaFine, and I'm using smoky grey. This is actually the Cheryl Simpson, the artisan design 2J's Daisy, which I think there might be a few left on the website. I think so. Wow, I've done this onto linen card. Yeah. Because what it does is it gives you that little bit more like you've sketched it yourself.
Yeah, it does feel that.
Because what we're trying to go for is, and this is what what I'm trying to go for here is as if I've sketched it, not I've stolen Cheryl's work. She's done it for us, and that's absolutely fine. That's covered in the license. Okay. But you see, I can lay down that colour, but that's against black. Ooh. And look how bright it is, and that's not a pearl. Yeah. That's literally just one of the sets. And what we did with the 2 colour sets, if I bring those in slightly, Tea Time and Rainbow. Rainbow is primaries, Tea Time is like shades. Oh, okay. So they're designed so that you've got 16 all in a colour family together.
Well, that's good.
So if I want to then, let's get the other orange, because I'm still using my original sample ones, guys. Okay. But can you see that orange? Yeah. Is the shade of that? Yeah. So, and if I want to bring a little bit of warmth in or depth in, I can go with a little bit of the beigey colour. Lovely. But normally, so far I'd have had to open 3 different ones. Yeah. So I'm using the water brush, I'm going to pick it up, but you see straight away how beautifully that, now that's like I've got watercolour pans. Yeah. And I don't have those. That's not something that I have. It's another expense. Whereas because I do stamping, I've got ink, so I want them to do that job for me. I mean, I'm not knocking them, but I'm a die cutter and a stamper. But you can see there how easily I can just colour those. Lovely. Yeah, but then just go with a little bit of the orangey colour and put some of that in. So I'm kind of going halfway with the orangey colour. Oh, I like that, John. But you see, I'm not having to wonder which ones and which pads to get out. They're all done. I'm going to get a little bit of this beigey cream colour. And I'm putting that in the middle, and that gives me almost like a darker browny shade for the centre. Yeah. So a little bit of the orangey colour there, because that would be darker and tighter. Yeah. So I've got that bud now a little bit tighter, and then let's just go with a little bit of green. So I'm putting the green down near the yellow, because they're all designed to mix together. So a little bit of yellow and a little bit of the green. But this is what I love. This is the difference with the inks. I can mix these. Yeah. That's become a paint. Oh, it has, hasn't it? And it's a pigment ink, and that should split and separate. Yeah. So now
How long did these take to develop, John?
Sorry? We started with these in January 2019. Wow. And this is the second set of colours, and I think I've had my samples about 9 months of these colours. Okay. You really put them through their paces before you bring them to us. Yeah, got to do. Got to do, because it's, we've said to people, we've put the name of the craft artist on there. Craft Artist is Craft2's brand. Yeah. And, I don't want to spoil 21 years of an excellent reputation with just getting the wrong product. This is see there. I can't believe that. It looks like you have gone in with your watercolours. And it's like I've watercoloured that, and I haven't. Very pretty. I've just literally used a few colours of ink straight from the ink pad. Yeah. And then, but again, I could then, once that's dry, I could put a stencil over it and start to shade part of it or anything. It's so easy to do, but if I want to pull out the colours, you said the stamping, what's so good about the inks is I'll just take a random sentiment. So life is the flower for which love is the honey. Nice. And obviously using the inks to emboss, then if you use a clear embossing powder, suddenly you've got all these different tones. You've got all those different colours of embossing powder. So let's say on this one I'm going to go with pearl. So I'm going to go with the pearly yellow this time. Okay. But you can, I don't know if you can get close enough to see that, or whether it's too pale. Yellow's hard on TV. Yellow is horrible, isn't it? Yeah. Let's put another layer on. Okay. Yeah, but what I can do, because it's... I mean, I can see it to the naked eye. But it's just, yellow's one of those colours, it's hard when you touch it with a little bit of orange. Yeah. There we go.
All there. Perfect.
But that is some of the finest sentiments I've ever seen, but stamped in a pigment ink, beautifully crisp.
So crisp and fresh. Love that, John. Thank you so much. Time is running out in the hour. I've got to say a big thank you to John, though, for shifting his demonstrations towards the inks. Inks are really, really busy. And when you think about it, I mean, John, for just one of the small mini inks, how much would you pay for a mini ink pad?
It depends entirely on whose name's on it.
Okay.
To be honest.
Yeah.
You know, there are different brands and different names and things go on there. I would expect to pay these days £2 to £3.
Okay.
For a top-notch one. I think the cheapest I would get one would be about £150, £175.
Yeah. Well, when you think about, and that's, look, you can't describe you wouldn't put these in the same category because the quality, I think it's fair, let's say £2, right, to be fair.
Yeah.
So there you've got £48 worth of ink for £37.97. You are saving £4 here, but it's the quality and also the versatility of these inks. So you've got your pearl here that John's just demonstrated. Then, now this was interesting because John was saying you've got your primaries and then you've got your lighter shades, but they're all part of the same colour family, so they will work very nicely together. You're not going to find, when John tipped them out, because I know it's something in the past with sort of similar designs, ink pads, if they shake, they'd fall out. They don't. They've got that locking mechanism to them. Very, very juicy as well. They're just great inks. They are water-based. You can use them with your embossing powders. You can blend with them. You can paint with them. It ticks all the boxes. 24 colours in there. £37.97 is your price. You are saving £4. 385-983, your item number. Now, we've got some desk vacuums, blue and pink. We're going to start with the pink. They've got different item numbers. So here is your pink. John, these are just very handy to have.
They're so clever, and I use it far... to be honest, at first when we spotted them, I thought, are they a bit of a gadget?
Yeah.
Is it a bit? And I'm a gadget head at times, so I thought, well, I've got to have it anyway.
Okay.
I found myself using it more and more and more because not only are they great, and they're designed for die-cut bits. Right. This is not a glitter. I mean, I saw one in a similar shape as this being advertised as a glitter vacuum, and I know how these work because I'm that boring. I have to find out, and I know that brand new, straight from the pack, these will not pick up glitter because there's an air hole. And that will just come through. The filter isn't fine enough in any of them.
Catch it, yeah.
We designed this and we asked for this as a die-cut piece picker up. Once you've had them for a couple of months and they've picked up lots of die bits, they will start to pick up your embossing powders and your glitters. Okay. But if you get one out of the packet, if you buy one and it says glitter vacuum on it, you're going to be sorely disappointed if you try and pick up glitter first time. Because we tried it. But my favourite thing for these, apart from just cleaning up bits, is cleaning your plates. We don't clean our plates on our die cutting machines. We literally cut into them and we leave thousands and thousands of little bits in. And what happens is these brushes on the bottom,
they kind of scour and scrub.
Literally scrape and scour. And I've got to be honest, I've got Paola over the other side of the studio nodding like that because she's used it exactly the same way.
Have you?
But you will
Dirty
be...
plates?
Yeah, she's literally got... Yeah. Because I was shocked when I first started doing this on my Couture Creation A4 plates, how clean I got them. And I didn't think they were dirty.
See, I think a lot of crafters at home can relate to this. Have you got dirty plates at home? Well, we've got a Hoover for your needs. For the pink, £9.99 your price, 755-659 your item number. We do have the blue option, exactly the same, obviously, just different colourways. We'll flash the details there. £9.99 your price for the blue, 197021 your item number. We're going to mention the guillotine. It's been popular this hour. With a guillotine, I think the proof really is in the pudding. I'll let John play around with this because he impressed me how fine he can cut, but just listen to this. You hear the quality, the build quality that you get, that self-sharpening mechanism too, so you won't have to resharpen your blade. It is just a quality guillotine.
It genuinely is. I'm going to grab a piece of card. Well, I'm actually going to grab a piece of the paper that we had in the limited edition because this is about 100. I never asked. Yeah, okay. We have it made for us in the UK. It's printed in the UK for us. Brilliant. But I know who makes it, so I had the samples from... This is brilliant. So I never thought to ask what weight it was because it works and it's good. But this is the difference. If you listen to mine compared to yours...
The same.
Yeah. Mine sounds to me a little bit more cutting.
Okay.
Right, and the reason is because mine is being constant. Yeah, I can hear a difference.
You've got a better ear than me.
But the thing is, it's because mine is constantly going against this steel.
So you're just sharpening.
So mine keeps sharpening. So mine is getting. The more I use this, the sharper it's getting.
Okay.
But you can. So this is paper, and I'm going to cut this to nearly 1 millimetre. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold that.
That
there.
is the ultimate test. To cut that fine.
And this
John,
is 9 months old.
That is impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it is, and it literally, you can just... And what I thought was really clever, you've got all the measurements.
Yeah.
So, yes, you know, if you want to cut anything bigger than 6 1/8, you've got to get another guillotine or do something else. But I actually worked out that if I want to get 7 inches, I just cut 1 1/4 off a piece of A4 card. So you'll get your own things around it. But it goes all the way down. But you see the silver stripe? This is what's so clever. That is 1/2 inch.
So you know the
So
silver
if you need 1/2 inch strip there, when it comes out...
follow the silver stripe.
Yeah, follow the silver stripe. Do it how you do it at home, John. But that is 1/2 inch. Yeah? Crazy. But, you know, so you can do any measurement you want at all in it, centimetres, inches, and it's just, to be honest, accurate, and it has the lines that go all the way down and measurements top and bottom.
Perfect.
Which make it so much better. But I love this. I really do.
Details on your screen. $19.99 is your price there. 773-200, your item number. Now, time has beaten us. Just give you a very quick reminder, the glues are busy as well. You're getting both bottles and you're getting the glue glaze as well. Glue glaze is so good. And it's something I've seen John use for years now. And finally here at the craft store, we've been able to offer it to you for a little while. But it is very, very good. And the glues as well are exceptional too. For that price, $9.99, 521-794. John, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
So when are you back?
Next week. I've got a full collection launch next week, sorry.
We're looking forward to that. And the Kaleido?
23rd, Sunday the 23rd, it's the Lockers Crafts 2 show. It's given me 2 hours telling you all about it.
Cannot wait. Thank you, buddy. Really enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. Plenty more coming up here at the Crafts.